Hello, welcome to One Cool Thing, PC Mag's daily show where we show you one cool thing which we are testing out here in the PC Mag Labs. I'm Sasha Segan, this is Matt Buzzy. If you are watching us on Facebook live, then please ask questions, make comments in the comments field. Social Pete will read them out to us. If you are watching us later on YouTube, please like and subscribe and consider coming over to Facebook at 10 a.m. Eastern on weekdays to participate in the discussion. We have some intense desktop PC shenanigans here today.
It's huge.
I love ridiculous PCs like this. This PC is absurd. What is this, like, blood-filled, glowing mass of hardware?
It's the blood of our enemies, Sasha, and we've captured it here to fuel our desktops. So this is the Origin Genesis, the 2018 edition. Obviously, that means in the past we've seen Genesis builds. This is the new case, the new design. This is a highly spec'd out version.
Okay.
Starting in the low, like, 15, 16, 17, 1800 range. This is $8,800. So not your average consumer purchase.
So we
for
have
sure.
so we have a $9,000 desktop PC here, which, as you can see, is actually filled with the blood of your enemies. And
it's a feature.
Yeah, let's speaking of features, let's talk through the insane products that we have crammed into this case.
So, though I can't see them from here, I'm gonna just gesture.
Do you want to come around?
No, I got it.
Okay.
I know it's in there. There's two NVIDIA GTX 1080 Ti's, which, good start for any system.
Let's mine some Bitcoin.
Let's mine some Bitcoin, folks. There's an AMD Ryzen Threadripper 1950X, which is a very speedy high-end card, especially for multitasking and stuff. As with the 1080 Ti's, that's probably extreme for gaming, more extreme than you're gonna need, but combine it all together and you can do gaming and any multimedia projects you have your heart set on. 32 gigabytes of memory. It's RGB glowing G.Skill RAM, of course, because more lights are needed. There is a closed liquid cooling loop, so the graphics cards are seated on cooling plates with liquid running through. It's red, blood of our enemies. It's crimson, technically, if you were to go through Origin site. Those are here, and these you can't really see on camera, but these side plates, I have the liquid running all up and down.
Yes, they do.
It's very cool, literally and figuratively. There's a bunch of radiators. There's one over here. There's one over here. They're everywhere, keeping this thing running cool. Storage. There's so much storage, Sasha.
Can we rotate?
Yeah.
The storage is
show you the storage.
cracks me up. Okay. We're rotating for the other camera here, and then so the front opens up here. You can see the.
You get more liquid.
Yeah. It looks like if you remember the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek, the whole prepare the red matter thing.
That's it.
We got the red matter
right here.
Check this out.
That's a hot swap drive bay,
Hot
folks.
swapped 5 full-sized hard drives.
And that's a 6 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah,
So,
it's like 2010 in here.
Oh yeah. And there's also inside, there's 2 1 terabyte SSDs. So this thing has 8 terabytes of storage as configured, which is not too shabby.
Okay, so now, the specs and the tech in here is not too shabby, but there is one thing that is a little shabby.
Yeah, so the case I have some complaints about.
Can I do this?
Please go ahead.
Okay, watch this. I'm gonna access the ports. Oh, whoa, this came
weird,
right
which
off.
has a dust filter, it's the access for that stuff.
And
That's fine, that's removable.
But
But
also
the thing itself is a little.
It's made of like cheap plastic.
Yeah, this feels kind of cheap plastic too. If this was configured in a less expensive case, and because we have such a high-end build, it kind of exacerbates the problem. If you had this on a less expensive build, you'd probably mind less. But spending so much money getting a case that in some places feels a little cheap, or in this case, we have it with the vertical orientation, which is an option. You can get the standard layout, but that means the display ports and all the USB ports up here are facing upwards. So the display port sticks up to about here, and with that lid on it, it kind of puts pressure on the cable, and I could see it just a couple, a day or two of use. The bending on the display port was concerning me. I was like, this cable's gonna probably stop working soon.
Yeah.
And it's just clumsy to have to take, and then they all drape out the back in a weird way.
Can I ask about some of the weird ports? Because you know I love weird ports.
You do love weird ports.
I love weird ports. There are ports here. No, I can't. We can't physically rotate
tip
this
it. It's too
50-pound PC. It's just too heavy. There's a USB port that says BIOS, and there's a USB port that says Keybot.
Keybot. I'm not actually sure what the Keybot one is. The BIOS would be like to flash it if you need if you have USB key to like flash your system in dire situations. Yeah, and it has USB-C. There's just a ton of USB ports and Ethernet. Nothing special happening back here. Obviously, the two cards, as per standard NVIDIA offering, it's 3 display ports and an HDMI port on each one.
Yep.
So you have connections for days. The rest of the ports, this we probably can show to the camera.
Yeah.
Should have done this while we were facing forward here.
It's okay.
There's a little slidey boy.
Down.
Yeah.
Up, slides up. Okay.
Slides up. Yeah. USB,
USB-C.
USB-C. You know, this is the kind of easy access stuff you might need in a pinch without having to lift the lid off. And so like that is there. You don't have to go through the annoying lid for that. But yeah, fairly standard fare.
So now we've gone around the physical size and shape of this thing. Let's talk about the performance. We had packed a ridiculous number of high-end components in here, including graphics cards that no one can actually buy anymore.
Yes.
Oh, it looks like we have a question, and then we'll talk about how it does.
Please hold.
Someone asks, why does anyone need this?
I mean, does anyone need? Yeah, on a technology basis, very few people need anything really.
Yes.
When you think about it, a very basic cell phone would do you if you thought about it. A very simple laptop would do the job, I'm sure. No one needs this. Gaming in itself is like a luxury kind of hobby that usually it's a time and money sink. So okay, no one needs gaming off the bat. Let's just start there. If you're gonna spend a lot and you have a lot of money and you want it to look cool, that's when you need this. No one needs this.
Yes.
But when it's a hobby and when it's something you're into and you have the budget, I mean, you can scale this system to your budget. So if you only want to spend $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 as opposed to $8,000 or somewhere in between, that's up to you. Yeah, very few people probably can afford this like souped up extreme version, but.
So let's talk about the performance on the extreme version.
Yes.
How extreme can the performance get? I think there's some benchmarks in
there.
There
are some charts in there for sure. Let's go to the videotape. Yeah, it's super fast. It isn't the like fastest performer we had, but its handbrake time, which was video encoding, was actually the fastest time.
Okay.
This is some of the similar competition, including the Alienware that's using the exact same chip. So that's like a nice, easy sort of comparison. More or less traded blows. They're in the same ballpark. Like it's faster on Photoshop. You know, back and forth they went. On the 3D front, of course, the cards perform super well. I mean, 90 frames and 4K for 4K gaming.
That's just
insane. Yeah, it's pretty good. Not quite. Again, there's some peaks on some of the other systems that are a little higher, but again, once you're over 60 and you're that high over 60, the rest is all gravy. I guess when you spend nearly $9,000, that's exactly what you would hope for, but it does deliver that.
So now when I'm looking at these CPU workloads, and this is important to, and we do this a lot on the show, to differentiate CPU and GPU workloads.
Yes.
Because sometimes people don't understand that. And so if you're looking at these CPU workloads, you find, for instance, that the Threadripper does really well in Handbrake because Handbrake is a massively multi-threaded application.
Yes, which like its PCMark score is it's good, but it's not using the multi-threads that much. It's not really doing that's mostly media work that's left to use all those threads and all those cores super well.
Exactly. So like Threadripper with these graphics cards, I mean, we're talking about from gaming, of course, we're talking about awesome 4K gaming. From professional stance, we're talking about things like 3D rendering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the Cinebench time is a good example. Like, look how much higher it is than the just normal i7 good chips.
Yeah, this is comical.
Yeah, like
this
in comparison.
Comical.
Yeah. And of course, Intel has its own answer to that. The i9 chips do more or less the same thing. I just benchmarked a i9 chip yesterday that was 20 seconds on Handbrake. So.
Wow.
These things are really fast. Yeah, but it's specialized. So like, yes, it is overkill for gaming for the most part, just like 64 gigabytes of memory is overkill for gaming. Just like 3 graphics cards is probably overkill for gaming.
It looks like we have another question.
Can it play PUBG at 60 frames per second?
You know what? I'm not sure that the Super Collider can play PUBG at 60 frames per second. My build at home gets to 60 usually, and then all of a sudden you find yourself at 40 or 30. Yeah, that game is not well optimized. I don't know how else to put it. It's still not the best. So I'm running dual cards at home, and all of a sudden it's like choppy, and you're like, what is this? What is this experience?
No.
This would be a lot better at it. Yes, I'm pretty confident. I don't even know how well optimized PUBG is for SLI, if it even uses it at all, frankly. So you might see the same peaks and valleys no matter how much hardware you pack into this thing.
Now, speaking of dual cards, okay, and we've been talking about this a lot around the office. I'm putting you on the spot. I don't know if you have an answer for this.
Okay.
But can you actually get this build because of the global graphic card shortage?
I mean, you can pay more than you should and get the cards. That doesn't mean it's a good idea. You can find them somewhere. They'll be marked up to extreme prices.
But like, does Origin have cards?
Origin has enough cards to do what they need to do, but
Okay.
I think it's probably not helping their bottom line. All these boutique manufacturers, if the demand on this stuff's going up, I know Nvidia just pleaded to retailers to like help out people, like to help people out, like please let people buy these cards. I don't know if regulation is going to come into play on any of this stuff. I have no idea. It's really complicated.
No, it's crazy because I do see the idea of like psychotic cryptocurrency miners buying these kinds of systems just to get the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, another vendor just made a joke about how it actually might be cheaper for them to build it finally than to DIY because of that reason. So I think because they have probably bulk and they have all these the avenues to get these cards themselves, it's actually probably better off for them than buying one off the shelf right now.
Looks like we have some more questions.
Someone wants you to open it and take the shroud off of the PSU.
I don't even know if that's a toolless job, so kicking lights. No, this is screwed in. I do not have a screwdriver here. Sorry.
How powerful is that PSU? Now,
That's a good question. That's a 1.3 kilowatt PSU.
Wow.
Yeah, you normally don't go above like 900. So there's a lot of power in there.
I've seen some 1200s. I've seen some 1200s.
Yeah. So that's 1.3 kilowatts.
Okay. For the people who've shown up more recently, let's rotate this again and show off the front. And,
I was going to say show off this other side because
we have another side.
yeah. So there's a tempered glass panel. They did send it with 2 tempered glass panels attached, clear. But this one has.
Since we need to get there first, let's stop here. Stop here.
Make a pit stop at front panel town.
And then we have, so we have the churning blood, the great red spot of Jupiter going on in the front here. And then we have our 5 full-sized hard drives. We can actually, we can use all of the leftover hard drives we have around the
just
labs.
put them in here and that's problem solved.
Totally, just chunk them in here. Okay, so that's what you've got there.
Yes.
Turn it around. We have the easy access ports here because the hard access ports are up there.
And so this other side has a design you can get.
Hey!
So this one, as you see, is not. I mean, excellent cable management. Also, that's another bonus you get when you order from a manufacturer like this. They do a much more professional job than you are probably ever going to do on your own system, because that's just how these things go.
Yep.
So this one is not clear, as you'll notice. You can get like any kind of design you want on the side. This one matches the front panel Origin, their Neuron design thing that they have going on. But you can get a custom laser etched image on the side, so you can put your own face on the case. Just. That's what everyone wants.
Now, going back to the downside. By the way, I'm going to say that I'm sliding this panel back and forth.
Yes.
It's a little janky.
Yeah,
it's
and it can come off as well. It did on me, and you can kind of just have to put it back on.
Tasty $9,000 computer in a $130 case.
It's a little bit racing, a little bit Lamborghini and a Ford experience, slightly, which is a little regrettable. And this. This thing, you can access the radiator that way, but then it was really hard to get back on. It was getting in the way of the door opening and closing.
At least it doesn't have the electrical problems of an Italian sports car.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you can, if you can figure down the case, I think that stuff. If you can figure that in the build, rather, I think that stuff's going to bother you less. It's not overtly bad, but it does when you're paying this much feel a little bit disappointing. I think.
I would totally leave the tempered glass panel off, as long as I didn't have cats or anything.
Sure, just let it
It's
all
so
hang
pretty.
out.
It's just so pretty. Yeah. Any more questions out there?
Someone said about the hard drives, those are WD Reds.
Yes, that is exactly what that is. There's only one in there. That's a 6 terabyte. The rest of these bays are empty. Those are there for you to fill. There are 2 1 terabyte SSDs inside though. So
Keep your snacks in there.
yeah. Those are I think they're Samsung 960 NVMe 2.0s. So
So you've got 6 hard
speed.
drives and 2 SSDs.
yes. That's pretty much the scoop. I forget what exact motherboard. It's a high-end ASUS X99. maybe.
But yeah, well, it's all in the review.
It's all in the review.
The review is on PCMag.com. This is one of our great, long, comprehensive, in-depth PC reviews that we've been running for for possibly longer than Matt Buzzy has been alive.
That's probably factually true.
Yes. The Origin PC Genesis 2018, we rated it 3.5 because basically once you get to this level of extreme, little things like, say, the case design become important.
Things like that should stand out. Like immediately, you should feel, if you're spending that much, as premium. Like it should be totally obvious that it's a luxury system. It should feel like that in every way.
Right, right.
And there are just some other offerings, even from Origin's own offering. The Neuron I like a lot more than that was configured at like I think just under $4,000. The case felt nicer. It was a little classier. I just like that build a lot, and there's a couple other systems from like MainGear and other people that like I just think are more obviously super premium. Even though you look at the inside of this, yeah, it's gorgeous and really nicely made. So
yeah, but still,
that's why it's still a good score. It's a super fast system. There's no denying it. But to be the best of the best, I feel like you got to do
whether or not you have $9,000. This review is a great piece of high-end PC porn.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun to look at and fantasize about.
Yep.
Any more questions out there? Terrific. Okay, so this has been the Origin PC Genesis 2018 on One Cool Thing with PCMag.com. If you are on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and head on back on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern on Facebook when we will have another One Cool Thing for you.